This is Charles Kirkwood, Director of Wine and Spirits for SaratogaWine.com. Today we are exploring Smith Haut Lafitte with owner Florence Cathiard and Commercial Director Ludovic Fradin.
Great wine,
better prices,
delivered right to your door. SaratogaWine.com.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate it. So would you, Florence, would you give us a little background on how you came in to own the chateau?
When we came here, we were totally charmed, and we bought, and then we had a lot of problems. But we were in love, and the terroir is great. Mm-hmm. And almost 32 years later, we are so happy, and we make, I think, great wines. It's a nice piece of civilization, like an island of harmony in a cruel world, I think.
Ludovic, when did you become involved with the chateau?
Well, I met Florence and Daniel before I joined the property as a past with Négoce in Bordeaux during more than 20 years. And we share a passion for wines and exceptional wines, and a very good adventure of promoting Smith Haut Lafitte across the world through US and Europe and Asia. And so when you met people like Florence and Daniel, you can't resist. So
you can reverse the saying, because we wanted Ludovic and nobody else.
So going back since the modern era of Smith Haut Lafitte, since you purchased it, can you highlight a few vintages that you're particularly proud of?
For mine, it's maybe 2000, 2009, maybe 10, and then 16 and 15 and 20. So what would be yours? I am speaking about the red, because the white, they are excellent every year.
Well, we have few vintage in common together, but I really like the 1998. I like the 2006. It's because as well,
he has his son who was born in 6.
Of my first son. I like the 9 and the 10, but I like the 12. I like the 14.
The 14 is not a huge wine, but for the 14, it's one of the best, and the very best.
Is ready faster than 15 and 16 as well,
yes.
So it offers different characters.
So you have 3 wines that you'd care to discuss. Which wines are they?
So we can start with the Petit Haut Lafitte, which is the youngest vines of the property. We prefer to talk about young vine instead of second wines, because those young vines are on the main plateau of Smith Haut Lafitte, and they just have time before to enter and to reach the blend of Smith Haut Lafitte. So that's why the young vines will be coming in the blend. They reach an average of 18 years old, and the oldest 21, 22 before they can reach the Grand Vin. And they follow the blend of Smith Haut Lafitte, which is Cabernet Sauvignon predominant at 60% and Merlot at 40%. We did barrels since 1993 from French forest, which are for us the Rolls Royce of wood forest. So the Petit brings the character of the Grand Vin with this 16, which is a very ripe vintage. Well, it's a vintage that every vigneron winemaker will love to do every year, because Mother Nature gives us everything that we need. So Petit is made to enjoy right away, fast. It's a good time to enjoy the 2016, bringing a lot of black fruit. It's everything like Smith Haut Lafitte, but a little bit less on every stages. The character is there on the fruit, the black fruit, the minerals, the saltiness, the tannin structures, which is very fine, very soft, very delicate, as well as a long finish. And it's only a young vine. So, and the potential of aging is quite good. I would like to show you as well the new label.
We just we had just the chateau drawn. Do you see this down? And we had Smith, Le Petit Smith Haut Lafitte. So it's more connected to the first wine.
So moving on to the 2019 Grand Vin. Obviously, 19 is a very, very special year for the chateau. Can you explain why?
Yeah. For me, if you have liked the 14, like Ludovic likes it very much, I think it's same kind, very balanced, but with a little more of everything, which is good. More aromaticity, more body, and especially a very, very long finish.
When did the chateau transition to biodynamics?
4 years ago.
Okay.
And now the whole chateau is biodynamic for organic and the certification. We have tried this since the beginning, but it was very awkward because you don't go, especially in 1991, from a totally chemical vineyard to organic doing like this, it does not work. It took us 4 years to have a good homemade organic compost, because being organic and being biodynamic does not mean that we are close to innovation. It's just the reverse. For instance, it was in 2008 that we were totally pioneer in taking an optical sorting machine, computerized system. And I remember all the technique director of the first growth they say, not for us, never hand sorting.
How do you feel that your transition to biodynamics has affected the quality of your wine and the style of the wine? And how do you anticipate that adjusting going forward?
We have more purity for the last 5, 6 years, I think, even beginning in 2010, I think. More purity, more energy, but the yields went down seriously, and the plants have more self-immunity. They are resilient to drought, so that's good.
So the last wine, the Blanc.
The Blanc.
Le Blanc. Parlez un peu du Blanc, tiens.
Alors, the white of Smith Haut Lafitte is a unique white in Bordeaux, and I think that people can discover that Grand White is not only Burgundy, and Bordeaux can do excellent, outstanding white wine at the level of the top Burgundy, and Smith Haut Lafitte is one of them.
Oh yes.
It's a one plot, very small.
10 hectares.
10 hectares, with very old vines.
On a good slope.
On a good slope, behind the hotel. We produce here Sauvignon, old vines at 90%, but the Sauvignon of Smith Haut Lafitte, they are very significant, very different in their taste profile.
They are not varietal.
They are not varietal. It's Sauvignon, very unique on the ripeness of the Sauvignon, the white flower, the wine peach, the grapefruit profile. So depending the year, if it's a fresh or warm year, you can go to the pink grapefruit, to the yellow grapefruit. So the diversity, varieties of tasting of flavors are very, very excellent.
How would you describe the difference in soil with the plot that you that the white comes from versus the rest of the vineyard?
It's very different.
The wine comes from roughly 95% one block behind the hotel, divided into different profile of soil, going through gravel and chalky soil, sandy part as well, sandy part and gravel. So we divide those plots in different parcels, because like that we can reach the maximum of ripeness that we are looking for. And every plot are a little bit different with the age as well of the vines. So you need to manage them differently And then the overplot with Sémillon and Sauvignon Gris are very today at the opposite side of the property, nearby your residence actually.
Yes.
And so on two different profile of soil, which are more clay and gravel for the Sauvignon Gris. So they face together, in fact, one on the south with a north side exposition, one on the north with a south side exposition.
Going forward, what do you see are the biggest challenges you face as a chateau, but also Pessac Leognan in general, as well as Bordeaux?
The other challenge, of course, is the general warming of the planet.
Going forward, I mean, if you could briefly discuss your Napa project, as well as the future for the chateau.
Future for Smith Haut Lafitte, we think it's beautiful. If the general climate, if we have not an atomic bomb, we don't know, because the future of the world is a big anguish, but not here. Here, for instance, for now, it's just a civilized island of harmony. And for Napa, you have to visit. It's absolutely beautiful. We have invested a lot in already because it's one block, historic, 1885. So we have high ambition. And we came, we visit, we bought. We were crazy because it was just before the COVID, and it was not easy. It was not for the faint of heart, but we are still here.
The grand opening will be early next year in January.
I know a lot of people are concerned about the fires this year. How is that? How are you finding that actually affecting harvest and the quality of the fruit?
No, as we have also a vineyard in Napa Valley now, we are crazy at our age to have invested in such a beautiful estate, but we did. And there we were very, very anxious for 3 weeks in 2020. Fortunately, we escaped, except the Malbec piece, which was touched. But here, nothing was touched, because they had only half day of with a little smoke, but not a deep gray thing like in Napa, not at all. And the wind, fortunately, the winds were never on our estate.
Ludovic, if you could give one suggestion for someone interested in going in the wine industry, what would you suggest? What would be your advice?
Go. Do not hesitate. It's a very passionate environment, moving environment. Every year is different. So it makes your life very interesting and exciting. And do not hesitate. If you like wine, please come. It's a very, very nice environment. Yeah.
And Florence, someone who's interested in owning an estate, what would be your advice?
Different. I shall say aim high, because you need to start with some good money, to end with smaller money, at least in the first 10 years, for sure. Second advice, keep fit, because we have been here for 30 years in this business. It's not a business, it's a shared passion, but there is no vacation. You don't have much time for yourself.
Florence and Ludovic, this has been a real honor. I really appreciate you taking the time out of your day, especially at this busy time. Thank you so much.
It's a pleasure, shared pleasure, and come and visit.
All these selections and more are available at saratogawine.com, and please don't forget to like and subscribe.